Hello, my friends, it's Kim. I am going to do something embarrassing and show you the disaster that is my kitchen. And I have a very good reason for this. I have been canning like a crazy fool. As you will see, I have canned foods everywhere in those crates, in boxes, on shelves, in bins, on the floor, over there in the corner, everywhere I could put stuff. Because I started canning season out really well and it all went to hell in a handbag. Let me explain to you. All right, let me explain what I was doing. First, my canning season started as usual. You know, I had some tomatoes to use up, so I made 12 pints of spaghetti and meat sauce. Then the pears came in season, and I did 28 pints of pears. And corn was in season, so I did 22 pints of corn and 8 pints of cream corn. Well, then while I was doing this, a friend of mine gave me a bunch of apples, and in exchange, I was going to make her some apple butter and some apple pie filling. So I was in the process of making apple pie filling, and I had all this stuff in the crock pot for the apple butter, and I ended up making 14 pints of apple pie filling, and later finishing 8 half pints of apple butter. Well, during that process, I went out to the garden to get some beans and more tomatoes and see what was out there. And I had picked a great big bunch of beans. And while everything was processing, I was getting my beans ready to freeze because I don't like canned beans. I would rather they be frozen. Well, I went to go put them out in the freezers and I discovered my freezer was dead. I no longer have a freezer working out there. Everything was thawed. It was stacked up to the top. I mean, I keep months worth of meat out there. And I panicked. Well, thankfully, I always keep extra ice in there. Every time I take something out and I get room, I take like a 2-liter bottle or a milk jug or whatever, and I fill it with water and I put it out in the freezer. Well, those were thawed as well. So it had been a couple of days that it had been off. And unfortunately, my alarm didn't work because I didn't know it ran out of batteries. Go figure, my luck. Well, anyway, I checked the temperature. I keep a thermometer in there. It was still at a safe, thawed temperature. I checked every bit of meat that was in there. They were all in the safety range. They were all in the 36 to 38, maybe 40 degree range, but I needed to get them used right away. So I started canning like a madwoman. In the meantime, I made 10 pints of soup, 6 pints of taco meat, 12 pints of, I call it bird because it was chicken and turkey. I got it mixed up and I was just putting them in jars. I canned 12 pints of hamburgers in patties. I have 16 quarts of various beef soups, stews, and stroganoffs, and 8 quarts of chili. I also had tons of turkey wings and legs and a couple of thighs that I use for soup through the winter. Well, those all went into my huge roaster, and I roasted those until I could get most of the meat off the bones. I have a 5 or 6 pound bag of turkey and a little bit of chicken in my refrigerator, which is what I'm going to be working on today. And I have another batch of stock going from the rest of the bones. After I pick off the meat, I put them back in and I roast those overnight. I used all my scrap vegetables and I have a stock going. So now I'm going to be making various turkey and chicken meals to go with my canned goods. So anyway, it has been a crazy couple of days, and I thought maybe you'd like to see what I'm going to be making now that I can breathe a little bit because the turkey is cooked. I didn't have to process it immediately. I did have a day in between to try to get all the beef and things caught up. I shouldn't have, but I did put some beef back in my freezer just because I figured it was better to refreeze it. Then I could take it out and process it because I just did not have enough time. So anyway, that's what's been going on at my house. And as you can see, part of the disaster is I need to go through my cabinets and take out last year's products and last year and the year before, get those out of my cabinet so I can rotate in the new stuff and use up what I had before. And I'm going to meal plan off of everything that I've canned so that I can use this up, because I had to spend most of my grocery money buying extra jars, and I bought some lids and just a few things that I needed to do all of this. I mean, I had lots of jars, but I didn't have enough to process all of this at one time. So anyway, I thought I'd let you know what's been going on, and the next video I'll just show you. I'm going to make various chicken products, and I'll let you know what those are. I'm going to do a chicken piccata, chicken marsala, some chicken pot pie filling. There was one more and I don't remember what it was. But I'm going to do those in pint jars as well, because that's the size that I tend to use. And I could share those with like my parents, who there's only 2 of them, and quart jars are just too much for everybody. So anyway, stay tuned. Let's see what my crazy life has to do now.